Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I just want to address an issue through this video, and the issue is about climate smart agriculture. So you find that across the globe we are experiencing changes in terms of climate, and the changes are really not good. They are really adverse, and they're really affecting agricultural production, and not only agricultural production, but also it's affecting the environment side, that we are experiencing now different kind of diseases erupting because of the issues of the surrounding. When things change, even the mutation of genetic makeup of all living organism will change, and those things affect us. So today I want to address something about climate smart agriculture, and in this video I'm going to outline or highlight why is it important that you as a farmer, you need to adopt the agricultural practices, the smart one. There are different kind of agricultural practices, but there are those which are unique, and we call them the smart because they are going to help you mitigate and be able to adapt to the changes in terms of climate. So we are in different tropical regions, we are in different temperate regions, we are in different locality when it comes to climate. So we experience different kinds of climate, although now the climate change is really affecting every region, be it you're in the subtropic, be it you're in the subtropicals, be it you're in temperate regions or other regions in the world, you are feeling the effects of climate change. And for us to really move on with life, we must understand how can we adapt to these changes, and how can we mitigate, and how will we be able to do this at the same time we increase the productivity of our lands. Remember that the population is really growing, and the arable areas where we use for farming also is reducing because of people are expanding, because when people are being born, they will need a space to stay in. So the effects of population also is affecting the what the output, what we are producing is becoming not not enough for all the population. So when things happen, we need to learn how we can go about these things, and when going about these things, we should go about it in a way so that we don't increase the effect, but we minimize the effect, or we get rid of the effect at all. So climate smart agriculture come in various types, and depending on the part that you are in, you might feel it is a smart practice in your region, but the other people in another region, they don't feel it as a smart practice because it's not really helping them. So as farmers, we get this we get the knowledge, either you read, either maybe you get it from the extension services. That's why it's important as a farmer to really be in contact with those people who give out the extension services, so that you can be able to learn, because as we progress, innovation come up and technologies are being developed so that we can mitigate climate issues. So if you just stay in your own nest, then you don't get in touch with those people who really they are the one who are disseminating this information about the technologies, which are the practices which are promoting the smart climate issues. You are not going to be in touch and be on on dot, or what you call on current trend issues when it comes to mitigating climate changes. So first, you need to be getting these practices or these services from these people, and also you should be in a group as farmer group which is really registered and which is really active, so that you can receive these extension services. Other things that you can receive is easily access to credit, and also you can get weather information. So it's good as a farmer to really get this get trained about these climate smart agriculture practices. And then when you are trained, don't just listen to it and then after all you don't apply. So it's good that after listening to them, after being trained, after being shown, or you receive the they demonstrate to you how different technologies are supposed to be practiced, you adopt them, because it is going to help you. For example, one of the climate smart agricultural practices is the adapting those variety, using the varieties when it comes to your planting or you are doing the crop production. So having those drought resistant variety, it will help you to mitigate the issues about the drought, because if you continue using those variety that the region that you are in, you used to use those varieties, and the climate has changed, you will be affected when it comes to productivity, because if you don't use the drought resistant variety, they are going to be affected by the adverse climate changes. So that is one of the practices that you are supposed to adopt as a farmer, so that you can be able to continue sustainably producing your in your farm. And then the other things is it's not good that we continue depending on rain-fed agriculture. So if we continue, and we have seen that even the amount of rainfall that we used to receive has reduced, and then also you see the months of the time that we used to receive rainfall, it has changed. So if we practice irrigation, no matter which type of the size of the land that you have, as long as you can access water, practice irrigation, so that in case the rainfall fail to appear in a place where you are, you will continue producing, because you're going to irrigate your crops. So if you are trained and then you don't adopt this practice, you are going to suffer, because if you plant your crops and then you wait for the rain to come and then it doesn't come, your crops will not, your seeds will not germinate. So you see, if you adopt that practice, you are going to be safe. And then the other thing, I've said that nowadays the dates or the months or the season that we used to know, in all times we used to know that by this time it is going to rain, so I must prepare my land and then I sow my seeds so that the rain will find it and then it will start germinating. So you need to adjust such in a way that you are able to adapt to the changes of in climate, so that you can know, now I need to start preparing my land, prepare my inputs in this time, because now the climate has changed and I'm going to receive rainfall in different time. And then the other thing that you need to do is diversify your crops, stop mono production or monocropping, so that you can be able to mitigate those practices, so that also you continue earning from different types of crops, because prices of crops are different. So if you diversify or if you grow different types of crops in your region, in your area, in your piece of land, you're going to get to earn more income. And also there are those crops which are going to fix nitrogen in the soil. There are those crops which are going to help you get rid of diseases which are might be in your soil, because when we say climate has changed and we really feel the effects Also, these climate issues, the change of climate has brought about different kind of diseases and pests. So if we want to mitigate also these types of diseases and pests, we practice the crop rotation. So it is going to help you to earn more, and then it is going to help you also to mitigate the diseases and pests which are brought in about by the issues of climate change. The other thing is we need to change how we do how we feed our animals. We stop the free range of animals, because if we have a piece of land and then we leave our animals or our livestock to just freely graze on that piece of land, they're going to consume all the vegetation that is available. And because of adverse climate changes, which will might make an area to take a long period of time so that you receive rainfall, and when your land is left bare, it will accelerate the soil erosion, meaning the nutrients will be blown away or will be carried away. But if you practice paddocking, where you section your piece of land so that in this period of time you put your livestock in this region, and then you allow the other parts for vegetation to emerge. So after you see this area that you have put your livestock, that the vegetation is reducing, you bring your livestock to the next piece of paddock that you have section, and then you leave this other area to regenerate and to avoid the issue of leaving your land to be bare, and avoid the wind effects, and avoid the effects of soil erosion, and also carrying out of the nutrients. The other thing that you are supposed to practice as a farmer is to do agroforestry. So don't just go to the training, get to the training, and then you just sit down without practicing them. Just practice agroforestry, because it is going to help you to fix also the nutrients in the soil, and also it will help to capture those carbon which are being released, so that the carbon they contribute to the greenhouse effects, which contribute to climate change. And also livestock, also the waste they release, it's in a form of methane, which is also contributing to greenhouse effects, which lead to climate change. So when you have trees and your crops, trees will help to capture those carbon or those gases which are being produced in your farm, and then it will avoid being released into the air and form the greenhouse gases, which contribute to climate change. So we have a lot of climate smart practices, which are you as a farmer, if you have attended any type of training, or if you're in a group, you have received some of them. But don't just sit down, or when you are trained, don't just go sit down and then you don't practice those things that you're being taught. So there are very many practices, which I think I will have to make another video so that I can really categorize them, from the first one to the last one, or not even to the last one, because I've seen that different regions are categorize different practice as smart, because a smart practice can be smart in a certain region, let's say region A, but in region B, this practice can be categorized as not smart. So there are very many. I'll try as much as possible to list many as many, and then explain each and every practice in detail. But this video was just for you to know that it is important that when you learn about the climate smart practices and technologies, you need to practice it, you need to adapt, not just learn and stay in your mind without practicing. Because if you don't practice, your neighbor don't practice, and the other people don't practice, we are not going to mitigate these things, we are not going to adapt to climate change, and we are not going to increase productivity and therefore we are going to be food insecure. So it is good that everyone take responsibility at individual level, and then it's good to empower one another. When you learn of an innovation or a practice concerning climate smart agriculture, it is good that you share the information with your fellow farmer, your fellow colleagues, so that we can be able to disseminate this information and make people to be aware. And always remember that we need to mitigate, we need to adapt, we need to increase productivity through using the climate smart agriculture.